views of the public are being sought over proposed changes to the emergency services. The fire and rescue service is being modernised, and one of the changes will be the power to charge for time-wasting call-outs. I spoke to Duan Watterson, the Home Affairs Minister, about what the changes involve.
I mean, the legislation that we have at the moment is so old, it really needs updating anyway. We're talking about legislation that was made in the mid-70s and early 80s. So it's desperately in need of an upheaval. And it was based around the aftermath of Summerland. So it was written in a very certain environment. We want to bring that up to date, modernise it and try and reduce some of the bureaucracy without compromising safety. So changing from a fire certificate approach to a risk-based approach, I think is a key change within this document that will mean that it would very much change the way that people look at fire risk on the Isle of Man.
And the changes that you're making, you're giving the Fire and Rescue Service more powers.
Well, I think we're giving them more responsibilities rather than more powers, because we're certainly talking about including things that they have been dealing with, that they have no virus in legislation. So attendance at road traffic accidents, at things and flooding, things that I think the community now expect from the Fire and Rescue Service, but was never written into the legislation earlier.
Okay, now one change will be that there'll be a charge for what you call malicious or reckless call-outs. Why are you introducing that? Has that been an issue in the past?
Well, the fact is that it may not have been a big issue in the past, but it does cost a lot of money to call the fire brigade out. It costs somewhere in the region of £250, £300 for a turnout. So if that's a malicious call, then that's something that we feel the cost should be passed on to anybody who's successfully prosecuted for it. The whole regime of charging for services for the fire brigade is part of the consultation of this bill. So we are keen to sort of get a feel from the public as to whether the charging mechanisms that we're proposing are right.
And what form will the public consultation take?
Well, we've issued a draft bill, and the draft is a very early draft so that people can see just quite the direction that we're looking to take and offer opinions before we get too involved and too down the process of dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's.
Okay, so is there a time frame to this? How do people get in touch with you, and how long have they got?
Yes, people can contact the Department of Home Affairs for a copy of the draft bill, so that's available to anyone, and we would like responses back by the 10th of March so that we can then consider them and work out how we're going to take this forward.